Okay, it is
Oh,
11 o'clock and we are having our uh, first Monday Zoom session for January, but we're having it on the second Monday because the first Monday was too close to New Year's and there were still parties and uh, hangovers and such going on. So, and guests around. So, starting the session, it's 11 o'clock and I have Pam with me right now, Pam Flaherty. She's a relatively new member, and she's actually near and dear to my heart because she's proof listening one of my solos right now, and sort of like proof listener in training. So that's
right.
what I like to do is I like to teach and I like to train. And she's a very, very willing student, and she's also a really good recorder. So I'm trying to encourage her to keep that up. So, Pam, we were talking just now about something. I forget entirely what it is. Oh, yeah, about signatures. We were talking about
Oh, yeah.
signatures. And I don't know whether you've established a signature yet, have you?
I don't think so.
First, that's something else we can talk about. You know, today I have a little list of knickknacks or odds and ends. We can put on signatures. I think I've covered this before, but my problem is that I record these sessions, but I haven't yet figured out where to put them online, so people can read them. Okay, so
You know,
we have Mark Nelson is coming, and Phyllis, admit all. There they go. There we go. We've got Phyllis. Hello there, Phyllis.
hello.
And there's Mark. Oh, Mark, I liked you better into your mask. That was funny. That was so funny. So my dogs are going to bark now because looks like the Amazon truck has just arrived, but that's okay.
Ooh.
So Phyllis, Pam, I was just introducing Pam to everybody. Mark, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Greetings from the state of emergency here under the bomb cyclone in Sacramento County.
That is so
Oh
funny.
my God. That's where
Put
I
your-
am too. I'm
Put your
getting tons
put
of
your
rain.
mask picture back up for a minute. That was just too cute. I want to make sure it's recorded. No, they're not gonna do that. Okay, we got somebody else in the waiting room. Admit Stephanie. Admit Stephanie. I have to remind myself to look over here at the waiting room. Welcome, Stephanie. There you are. Hello. I see you up in the mountains, but I can't hear you. We can't hear Stephanie. Phyllis, can I hear you? Let me see.
Yep,
Yeah,
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh. Can hear Mark. I can hear Pam. I can't hear Stephanie. Now, one of the guests I'm hoping comes today is Kevin S., because he sort of spearheaded the public domain day discussion, which we're going to discuss today. Does everybody know what the public domain day is? I know you do, Mark, right? No.
I don't.
Okay. Hello, Stephanie. Can you hear us yet? Okay. Can you speak so we can hear you?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I can hear you. All right. So we're here. And we got, oh, goody. We got Loon is in. There we go. That's that picture I want right there. Hello, Rich.
Greetings, hello.
Greetings. So how is everything going with you? You missed the last couple of meetings.
I was doing other things. A real life.
No. Okay, so we were talking about, I was introducing, today's going to be sort of like a hodgepodge day. I got a list of things that I could share. We were talking about the main thing being Public Domain Day has been discussed over the last week. I don't know if y'all have been following that, but Kevin S. more or less brought it up and spearheaded it, and there's quite a discussion going on over at the forum. And waiting for, Kevin says he's going to come and maybe he'll have more things to add, but how about we head over there and look at it? Because everybody knows certain books come into the public domain on January the 1st every year. So for the current year, it's going to be things that come in for 1927. It's like a big opening day, okay? Just want to make sure. Okay, we got one more person to admit. There you go. There is Bill Jones. There he is.
Hey, guys.
Hello, we can hear you. Can you hear us? We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Now I can't hear you.
It's because he's joking around.
Yes, I'm a pain in the ass. I'm sorry.
Good.
Okay, so let me I'm going to share my screen. Just a minute. And I'm going to go to a, I'm just going to share my whole screen. Share it. And I'm going to go to sorry, I got a bunch of stuff over my screen. Go to Microsoft. I'm going to go to the forum. So you'll see how to get there. Go to the forum. There's the forum.
No, it isn't.
Well, it's trying. Sometimes my connection is a bit slow.
I know that form.
And then you're going to go, we're going to do a search. I don't know how many of y'all use the search feature, but I use it all the time. Anything you want to find out, anything you want to look up, we're going to do, you have to put it in quotes, public domain day. If you don't put it in quotes, it'll tell you everything that has public in it, everything that has domain in it. But if you put it in quotes and do like that, do a search, you'll only come up with discussions that say public domain day, supposedly. So we're looking up here, some books entering the public domain in the USA. We can click on that because that's the thread I'm actually looking for. And we can go to the first post, which was done by, I happen to know this because I'm on this thread. Kevin, in December the 28th, Kevin posted a post and kicked off a discussion about some books entering the public domain in the USA. And there's some titles you can look at and see if there might be something you'd like to record. How many of y'all have been to this on this thread? Or is this new to you? You've been there. Stephanie's been there. Bill's there.
I raised my hand to indicate that I was answering your question.
Okay.
I don't have to leave to do something natural.
What?
I don't have to go pee.
What? Okay, anyway, whatever. So we're talking about this here, and I'm trying to make sure I will, damn it. Hide the floating controls. I hope to hell. Oh, Kevin is here. Yes, Kevin has come.
He is.
Kevin has arrived. Hello, Kevin. Are you here?
I don't see his thumbnail.
No, I don't either. But then again. Hello, Kevin. Are you there? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute because I just simply cannot see. There he is. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, how are you?
You
Hey,
can hear
Kevin.
us. We can hear you. That's
good.
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 That's good. I'm glad you're here because I was just talking about you. I didn't want to talk behind your back. So let me go back to
Uh,
talking about you.
That's fine.
Okay, we were on your this particular thread that you started on Public Domain Day, and I had just pulled this up and showed them this list that you created. And I was going to ask you where you found this list.
I don't remember. It was just one of the articles that I found when I Googled, and everyone's excited about Public Domain Day. I found that other people were making similar lists.
Yeah, I was
They're-
going to go
they're-
over this thread. It's only 4 pages long. I was going to go over some of the posts in this thread and just introduce people to these ones. And that, see, I like Herman Hesse. My heart leaped up when I saw Herman Hesse because I've
Yeah,
recorded it. But of
but
course, it's in the original German.
It's in the German.
I
Das ist
know.
nicht so very schlecht.
So
It
there's
was-
nothing I can do about that. And then you say something you didn't know about, and then you talk about, I'm not going to go over it, but you talk about what qualifies as public domain in America versus other countries. That's something people might want to look into.
Well, apparently the rules have changed for Canada.
Right. I know.
Yeah,
That's a
so-
bummer.
Canada.
So it's more difficult.
And it says Virginia Woolf is PD everywhere outside the USA. Why is that?
She probably had some good lawyers before she died.
I don't know. And then, anyway, there's just a discussion here. I'm not going to go over it in depth, but if you want to find things that you could read that are just hot off the press, there are people who say, well, we don't need to worry about 1927. There's a zillion things that have been public domain for a long time that we haven't even gotten to. And that is totally 100% true. But there's just something enticing and exciting about being the first to record something that's hot off the press, you know. That's how I did Damien a couple of years
Oh,
ago.
I remember that.
That was a Herman Hesse. And I went and got the book from, it wasn't available on Gutenberg. I went and got the book from the library, scanned the whole thing in, thinking that I had to record from something that was on the internet. And so I found out later that all I had to do was to provide I had to provide Gutenberg with the copyright page. I didn't have to provide them with the whole scan, just the copyright page.
You mean LibreVox?
No, I had to provide Gutenberg with the copyright page. They then verified that it was public domain. Then LibriVox would accept it. Then I was able to read it from home. Okay, read it from my scan at home.
That sounds complicated.
It was a little bit complicated, but I was really on fire about doing this particular book because I really liked the book. And I don't know, there's something just, my point is, it was just really exciting to do something that was just hot off the press the minute it came off the press. And I feel the same way now. I'm looking for something to do that's hot off the press. So I'm searching through this whole thing. I haven't found anything yet that I want to do.
Well, I've been waiting for the Hemingway to open up, and
Hemingway?
Well, and there is one, and you're going to do.
And-
Are you going to do that
and-
Hemingway one?
well, someone else has decided to do the whole book, and
Men
what I've
Without
just-
Women. That man
Yes,
without
it's
women.
a collection of short stories,
Right.
and
And you want to tell us about the one you did? You were probably the first one who did something, and I know about it because I was your DPL.
oh, the James Joyce.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a funny one. It was just 13 poems. It was a little pamphlet, technically a book that
Mhm.
Joyce had published in France.
Mhm.
And I enjoyed it. I think we all have favorite authors.
Mhm.
So, I'm not going to be around forever. So whenever I have a chance to record someone, I jump at the chance.
So, what I loved about it, and the reason why I jumped at the chance to DPL it, is because I write poetry and I have a collection of poetry, and it's more than 13, but it's less than 200. It's not a huge body of poetry, but I have a little book, where I have my own copies of it, and people say you should publish it. And I'm like, I have no idea how or why. And it was encouraging to me to see that James Joyce let me show you here. He just took his own his own poetry, and he made himself, what's the name of it? Poems.
Well, remember, it's a visual pun, so it's POMES.
Poems, peach. What is it? What is the name of it? Poems.
Penny each.
Penny
but it's
each. PENYEACH.
PENYEACH.
Poems penny each. So we look that up. There it is. Poems
Oh,
penny.
I'm just seeing your cover for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
excellent.
I'm going to tell you how I got the cover. It's what charmed me about the book. He had this cover personally made. Okay. I guess by a friend. There were only 13 copies of this book made.
Hmm.
And I guess hand bound. It looks like hand binding. If you go to the online text, you'll see. Gosh, why it's taking. It's in the British Library. I don't know how you found it, but I'm sure that we each have a little folder full of our poems, and you could take and you could just see the cover. It's just very simple. And I just took the cover and I made it shorter, and I put a green apple in the middle because I think you're the one who told me, Kevin, that poems is a play on fruit, poems, fruit.
Poms is French
For fruit,
apple.
for apple. So that's how come the cover got made that way. So it's very inspiring to me that you can have, he's a famous writer, but when he wrote this, he wasn't a famous writer. When he put these together, he wasn't a famous writer. He just liked his poetry and he made himself a book. I find that very inspiring. So there you go.
You ought to do the same.
Okay, so if you look here, you get to see a full cover image. I'm not trying to brag on my cover. I'm really just thrilled that, there you go. There's a bigger version of it. Read for Libriversaries by Kevin S.
Oh, that's great.
So there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. It is always my pleasure, y'all. If you do a solo, I would love to do your cover just because I want to. Anyways, especially if I like the subject matter or it inspires me in some way. So this is what I wanted to tell you. Please just use your search bar, put in quotes, put public domain or something, or whatever you want to search for, an author, a topic. Let's look at this topic. I don't know if there's anything on this topic. Metadata. What do y'all know about metadata as it pertains to LibriVox?
That's the button that you press.
114 pages of stuff.
What?
It appears in a lot of threads.
Yeah, 114.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go, metadata. It's everywhere. Where do you get your 114 from? Oh,
pages.
114 pages. Yeah, so there's a lot of it. So therefore, we can't really discuss this one. Because I haven't gone through any of this. But I will show you something about metadata. I don't know if y'all, when I joined LibriVox in 2013, the first post always contained something where you're supposed to add the metadata. I noticed that it no longer does that. Have y'all noticed that?
Every day.
No longer asks for metadata. And I keep wondering why.
Well, they updated the software. You still have to add it when you do a collection.
That is true. That is true.
but now more things are automated.
But only the BC has to add it
Yeah, exactly.
to the
exactly.
individual pieces. But if you're doing a book or something, you don't have to add it. But I'm going to tell you and show you why I still add it. I'm telling you, I hate these floating controls I've got here are just really covering up everything I want to show you. There we go. Maybe that's how I can do that. So let's say I have, am I sharing this
Yes.
thing? Okay.
Audacity.
Audacity. So let us say I'm doing this Charwoman Shadow 12. Let's say I want to add metadata. I can go edit. You see where it says metadata?
Ah,
I'm going to edit the metadata. Now, why do I bother to put the metadata? I do. I put it all the time because there are some platforms where you can play, like I think a media player or various podcast editors where they will run the metadata while you're listening. They'll tell you the artist's name, they'll tell you the chapter number, they'll tell you what book you're listening to. Have y'all ever seen that?
I suppose so.
So if you don't put this on your file, people don't know. So I'm just going to add it in. Lord Dunsany. Album title is The Charwoman's Shadow. And I usually put the year the book was made, 1926. Oh, would you stop? The alarm is. And I also, in the comments, I usually say, narrated by Michele Fry or LibriVox Volunteers, 2023. So all that stuff rolls as credits when in certain platforms when you're looking at it. So that's how you can add metadata.
Does LibriVox pick that up?
I don't know, but I do know that other platforms do pick that up. Like if you have just one chapter that's rolling on the screen and you're listening on, you're listening while you're doing other things on your computer, it'll roll the credits. Not necessarily on when you click on the LibriVox one, I don't think it does that, but other platforms do. So if I go to save this, like this, and I hit save, yes, okay. If I had metadata turned on, it would pull up the metadata screen. I can cancel that because I don't need to save that. But let me show you something. Now, I do a lot of recording. I'm sure you all do too. And I do a lot of BCing. And for every project that I do, I have a folder, okay? There's a folder of things I'm BPLing and things that I'm recording for. And so let's say if you check the Charwoman's Shadow where we are right now, it will display my, you see how it displays the metadata? So I don't have to just remember chapter 8, chapter 9. I can say, oh, Ramon Alonso shares that. In other words, I get to see my chapter titles. This is just something that interests me, that it helps me locate things. I haven't done that for the last chapter. I don't have the metadata.
I'm not as organized as you are.
Well, I think I have to be organized or I can't function because I juggle a lot of balls and I forget where I put things. Okay. So
I think
what metadata is good for.
I think LibriVox must still pick up anything you put in the comments section, because in the short poetry collection, which really uses an old template.
Oh yeah.
It says ID3 tags not needed for this project, but then in parentheses it says you may put recorded by your name in the comments section if you wish.
In the comments section. What is the comments section?
I don't know.
Just
Maybe.
did that. You did that when you were entering the metadata. You put
Oh, in the
recorded by
comments
Michele.
section. Oh, the comments section of the metadata. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So basically you don't have to do it, but I do it anyway. And I don't think they override it. So that's basically all I had to say about metadata. Not sure
Thank
it
you.
interests anybody, but so we got Public Domain Day. Now I got something really interesting to talk about, but first I want to ask y'all if y'all have anything in particular you want to talk about, since this is sort of like Neat Tricks Day. I'm always in looking for neat tricks. Stephanie, I bet you have some neat tricks, huh?
Pretty sure I don't.
Aw, Rich.
I discovered something when I'm doing dramatic readings. So I'm editing other people's work,
Mm-hmm.
and I've discovered how to reduce plosives.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That reminds me of something.
When
Go ahead.
people pop their microphone, I can just highlight that pop and run a filter and cut out everything below 1,000 hertz. And because it's just part of a syllable, you don't notice that happening, but it reduces the plosive. It's just amazing.
You want to demonstrate that?
No, I don't have a demo set up, but
Okay. What is the name of this filter?
Let me see.
just the regular classic filters. And I say high pass, 1,000 hertz, and level 1. So it's the most gentle version.
High pass filter, level 1.
Yeah. So it's a gentle filter. It just rolls things off a little bit, and it cuts all that low frequency stuff out from your breath going into the microphone. It's all subsonic, or a lot of it's subsonic.
You're talking about the puffs, you know,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so just the beginning of a word. And if you do just a little chunk of it, it doesn't last long enough for you to notice that you're missing part of their frequencies.
That's like I don't know if it's pronounced sibilance, the S sound. I'm having more trouble now myself with S's. And
I don't think it
there's
really works on S's, but it works on like P's and T's.
well, I was going to say that there's something called de-esser that you can add to the tools.
Yeah, the de-esser and the declicker. I think we cover declicker last week?
I don't
think
think
we did, 'cause
declicker
I've been-
works.
Oh my goodness. I rely on it totally,
Really?
100%. Absolutely.
I'm not using it correctly, but I tried and it just seemed to alter the quality of everything.
No,
that I
no.
was-
But you don't declick. You can't, they say you could declick the whole file. That does not work because it looks at a lot of things like they're clicks, which they aren't.
Right.
But
Well,
if
that's
you
the trouble
find
I
a
have.
click, if you're proofing and you hear a click between words, between phrases, or even sometimes in the middle of a word, if you just grab that silent area, or you grab that part of that word and you declick, the click is gone, and you literally cannot find it any other way. I mean, I've wrestled with getting rid of clicks in the middle of a sentence, and invariably you get rid of part of the word. But if you declick, it does not take away any of the space. It leaves all the spacing in there. It just declicks it. It's very, very valuable. I mean, I only just discovered this, a week or two ago from one of y'all. I don't remember who, but
Yeah.
yeah, a month or so ago. But I've used it every minute since then, and it solves one of my major problems. The de-esser, I have trouble, Kevin, with my S's now too, because I don't know why, but because maybe one of the medications I take, which I don't take any major medications, but like I take, just like an anti-inflammatory at night for arthritis. And it's doing something with my tongue. And I can't say my S's anymore. They sound like S's. So it's sort of like I have a lisp. So I have to be really careful to go back and pronounce all my S's S's, which makes my S's sound like a snake, which means I have to go back and shorten them. But anyway, the de-esser, I would love it if it worked, but it doesn't seem to work for me.
I've had trouble with the declicker. I've tried it and I have to fiddle with all the settings every time. And it seems like different clicks on the same recording will need different settings. So
Well, I've never even tried to change a setting whatsoever. I just use what it comes with, and it's just I can next time I'll show you visually. You can just see the click go ploop and just disappear every single time. So I'm a proponent.
I just run silent on it. You know, I have a little spot of silence that I just lay on top. And then I've never tried to fix something within a word, though. You know, you can't add silence in the middle of a word, of course.
Well, the idea would be to stop the clicking to begin with. And I've tried to analyze where are these clicks coming from. And I don't have any idea. I don't know if it's my hand is sticking to the desk or my mouse is, you know, I've tried cleaning the bottom of my mouse to make sure that it runs smoothly. I have no idea where the clicks come from, but surely they come from somewhere.
I assume it's when the lips part, you know.
For me, it's my tongue. A lot of times when I'm making certain L sounds and needing to reshape my mouth for that.
Those are called flaps.
Okay, I don't know. I
This is terminology.
yeah. Say it again, because the
Flaps.
auto was claps. Okay. Yeah, it's annoying. And declicker works on probably about 90% of those for me. And some of them I just have to leave in because I don't know why I can't get them to come out, but they won't.
So you're only taking the tiny little place where the click, I mean, if you like expand your zoom in on the word to where you have just the word across the whole screen, and then you play it and you can hear where the click is, and you can just grab that little bit and hit declick and it doesn't work.
A lot of times I can't isolate it enough. I don't know if I have some auditory sensory processing something, but it's like I just can sort of narrow it down to it's roughly right here, and it'll be a part of a word, but it won't necessarily be you know, a specific spot. And then sometimes I have to listen to the same thing like 4 or 5 times to figure out which word the click is actually in, because I'm like, where, why can I not hear this?
At some point, I just say the heck with it.
Yeah, there is
You know,
and basically nobody cares that much.
Oh, well, you know, a lot of people argue that, oh, the breath sounds and all of that, you know, that makes it feel natural to the listener. And to a certain extent, I agree. Although there's the perfectionist within me that wants to try to clean everything up. But as I get older,
less of a perfectionist.
Well, yeah. And it's true, you know, it's kind of nice when I listen to other people speak. It's kind of nice to feel like they're sitting with you, that they're reading with you in the same room.
Up to a point, I totally agree with that.
I will
there are certain
up to a point.
When the cat starts to meow and the dog starts to bark and stuff like that, then I'm like, no, this is a little too homey for me. But that's just me. I mean, a lot of people disagree with that. Some people think it's just, you know, like us sitting in a circle reading at home. I guess
if a breath sound bothers me, I will maybe reduce it by 3 dB or 6 dB. Leave it in there, but at a reduced level. And that's what I feel comfortable with doing.
Now, I know one of the readers that I DPL for a lot who does not have many breath sounds. And when he DPL'd for me one time, he's like, well, you got a lot of breath sounds in there. So I said, well, how do you get rid of yours? He said he takes one of the breath sounds, one of the louder ones. He de-amplifies it by like -5 or 10 or something like that. And then he takes it again. How does he do that? Then he takes the entire file and he forget what he does.
Did he didn't do a noise profile and then
Yeah, he
pull
did a
all-
noise reduction. That's what he did. He did a noise reduction on that breath, and he applied it to the entire file, not just breaths, the whole file. Well, it reduced the breaths, but it also reduced everything else. But it just so happened that his voice sounds really good when he reduces all that other stuff. Mine does not. So I can't do that. You know, he was just lucky enough to be able to do that. So basically, I just either leave them in there or I just do a de-amplify, you know, or I'll copy a breath from someplace else that I think is just right. And every now and then I'll stick it in. But I don't just leave things like they are because I just feel like I'm gasping some of the time, you know. I don't really have, you know, I don't have much lung capacity. I just, you know, I run out of breath before I finish the phrase, in other words.
I just do silence. I just get rid of them. You know, I have enough of the breathing problem that I don't think it feels empty without them. But I don't know. I mean, we're never a good judge of our own work, you know.
You know, the best way to judge your own work is to listen to it after a year, when you're or even just a month after you're far removed from the minutia of production, and you
That's a
just
good point.
and you
That's a
just
good
go
point.
back and listen to yourself after a year, and you go, darn, that sounds pretty good, or oh my God, I need to redo that whole thing.
I know that one.
I talk too fast. I got to slow that down. And I have asked, like Phil is the person who introduced me to LibriVox. So he treats me special. And I'm like, Phil, I have to slow down the tempo on that chapter that I read 2 years ago. Can you help me with that? He's like, sure, I'll upload it again. But the thing is, it doesn't do any good because it's already out there on YouTube, and it's, you know, it's already been promulgated everywhere. So it's best not to publish it until, and people do this. They record stuff and they wait a couple of weeks and then go back and listen to it before they pull the trigger on the cataloging it. And it does help a little bit, but it's a little tedious, you know.
I'm
We're
too impatient.
amateurs.
I'm too impatient. You know, and I'm trying to record a lot, and you know, trying to get through. I don't know. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I very, very rarely look backward. You know.
Well, when you get to be in the old folks' home and you can't record anymore, and you're laying up in bed there and you can't do anything, you get to go back and listen to all your own recordings.
Maybe.
It'll be part of your immortality. You get to go back and.
I'm already planning on the time when I can only DPL.
Okay.
So
that would be sad.
Hey, Kevin.
Well, yes.
I just put up I'm seeing a project, Sinclair Lewis's Elmer Gantry.
Oh,
33
great.
chapters. The average length of a chapter in time is around 40 minutes.
See, that's,
if I hadn't found a DPL, I would have called you.
That's ambitious.
My wife is helping me. It's posted as a duet, but I'm taking all the ones over 40 minutes, and she's taking the short ones that are only 25 minutes.
I saw that. I was wondering how you were doing that. I thought at first it was going to be a kind of a what do they call that? The dramatic reading.
No. But she remembers watching the movie back when she was a kid, and I remember watching it back when I was a kid. And that Burt Lancaster is a hellfire actor. He made that character come alive. I'm sorry. Off the track.
No, it's not off the track at all. I'm finding that I like to do sections that are about 20 minutes long now.
Yeah, I get really exhausted if it's more than 20 or 30 minutes long. I won't even take things that are 5,000 or 6,000 words. I'm like, break it in half, just break it in half, and I'll take them both, but I have to do them in separate, separate increments.
Thank you,
It's just-
Stephanie.
It's just me.
You're welcome. Where should I put that?
Right here, I'm going to copy it right now.
Okay.
Okay, it's coming down the pike right now. And there you
Is
go. All right, thank you.
That-
I had a reader who uploaded, it was a relatively new reader, and he uploaded everything, an entire book at once. And he had a lot of problem with plosives. Now, I was potentially also being too picky, mind you, but there were a lot of those lower bass noises of the breath hitting the microphone. And so I was trying to explain to him, and I ended up doing some research, figuring it out, and editing a chapter for him and saying, look, this is what I'm finding works. If you like it, then you can go back and do it, or I can do it for you. And he's going back and doing it now. But that's it, that's where this came out of. So I probably blather a bit because it really was made for a particular reader, but
I'm not sure what that link you just put up there is for.
it's a 10-minute video of me showing this reader how to reduce plosives.
Oh, okay. And you got that on YouTube or someplace like that?
It's
a
uploaded
file.
to my file sharing site. Yeah,
Okay.
MediaFire.
Okay.
I've grabbed it as well. I'll take a listen afterwards.
I will too.
Yeah.
And so, because LibriVox does collect how-to videos, I'll try to find out a place where you could post it if you'd like to, and share
Yeah,
it
that's
with
fine.
the whole membership.
Yeah, I just hesitate to put it up on YouTube because it's
It's amateur. It's probably not
Yeah.
slick. Well, I've got
It's not
4 or
slick
5
at all.
I got several amateur ones up there too, and it's okay. We share with each other.
Yeah.
People
Hey, now-
appreciate them.
May I ask a question, a new question, something off topic?
There's no
Yeah.
topics.
Well,
It's
we're
whatever we like.
talking about YouTube, and now is there something going on where everything we're recording for LibriVox is being transferred by someone to YouTube for us?
I
Did I-
invited, there's
did
a
I
guy
misunder-
named, yeah, his name is Banjo or somebody. I invited him to come and do a presentation, and he said he'd like to come in February and explain that whole process to us, how he
Oh,
puts
okay.
our books on YouTube. And I guess he's going to try to monetize it. I don't know, but hopefully we'll have him on next month and he'll
Okay.
explain that.
Okay.
What about a special edition?
What do you mean?
Have a special edition of this confab, of this Zoom meeting. It might be the first Monday on Thursday, the 12th, but just this guy sounds interesting.
Yeah, he does. Well, I mean, he could do that if he wants to.
Well,
you could do that if you want to.
I did set it up so that there was a channel strictly for Zoom recordings.
You did, and I need to talk to you about that because I would like to put all of these recordings on there.
Do not delete them.
Oh, I'm not
I'll
deleting
go
them.
back and find out the process that I used. I mean, we did a
Okay.
couple samples, you remember.
We
but
did.
I've gotten away from it. And
Yeah, if you could come back to that, I'm sitting on all these videos and I don't know where to put them. I'd like to be able to create, Phil has his videos and our Zoom videos are mixed up with his tutorial videos, but I'd like for us to have a separate, LibriVox Zoom meeting place. And people do ask me, where are the videos? I want to see the videos. Well, I have them. I just don't know where to put them. So if you could help me, Bill, to come up with that, I'd really appreciate it.
I hope I made notes somewhere because it's kind of a complex thing to get started, but then once I'll get back to you.
Okay, sounds good. So I wanted to tell y'all, I think last month I talked to you about Libriversaries. Y'all remember? I don't know if y'all were here, but I talked about Libriversaries. And I'm going to share my screen again and show you something about, I'm really excited about it. Okay, so every, I'm going to just walk you through it here. Share screen like this. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the controls so I don't have to view them. I don't want to have to look, hide the floating controls so I can actually see what I'm doing here. Put this down here like this. It's really hard if y'all are floating around. So if we go to the forum and you go to this, you see this, what I call a hamburger up here, the menu.
That's what it's called, Kevin.
Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Go to the hamburger
Yeah.
and you click on.
It looks like a cheese sandwich to me. I'm just saying, you know.
Okay.
Click on members. We did this last month, but I wanted to show you that every member that we've ever had, we have 1,924 pages of our members. They're all listed by username, okay? And they're listed over here. They're listed by the date that you joined. So over here, date joined. First person that joined, September 26th, 2005. And that was
Michele?
Hugh.
Yeah, okay, never
We all
mind.
know who Hugh is.
Yeah.
And these were the first people that kickstarted this whole thing. Kay Ray is still with us. Some of these people I've never heard of.
Squid Arthur, I like that.
Oh, these are
These are
indexed for the oldest members.
the oldest members. That's right. That's right. And so you can also sort by how many posts. Let's sort by posts and you'll see that Tricia has the most posts, and then Carolyn, and then Anise, then Kitty, then Ice Queen, Lynn T, which we all call Lynette, but it's Lynn T. Craig, that's David. Silver Quill, Phil, Ruthie Golding, she's no longer active. Avai, Joe, Marianne, Todd, a Redlaw, that's David Lawrence. He's the one who does all the poetry.
The weekly
And we can go on down the list. It's quite fascinating.
Oh, look, there
You
I
can
am
quickly
somewhere.
see that there's 52 a page. I'm going to get to that. There's 52 a page, and you can quickly see who's the most active. And if you go to page, go down the page a little bit, you'll see me. I'm absolutely shocked that I made page 1. And Kevin beat me.
Yeah.
And Kevin didn't start until 2019. Listen to this. And I started 2000 and where am I?
1776.
And I started
Well,
2013.
I might have a lot of entries, but I mean, only 10% of them are meaningful.
So 2000, I have a sort of 6-year jump start on you, and you've beat me already. So it's not a competition. It's just a fun thing if you want to learn more about your compadres over here. Look, Algie, he's been on some of our meetings. 6,644 posts.
Michele, please do me a quick favor, no more than 10 seconds. Right click somewhere in the body of this screen.
Okay.
And then click on View Page Source near the bottom.
View page source. Okay. Oh God.
Scroll a little bit. Scroll a little bit down. Go ahead.
Oh
Do it.
my.
No.
Now, Michele, that's the stuff that my program sees that I've been working on.
Okay, good for you. Not
Close that.
interested. It's like German to me. Okay, so what I want to do is I wanted to tell you that everybody has a unique username. This is something I found out. Everybody has a unique username. But
Well, we have to, don't we?
well,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. Not everybody has a unique catalog name. Because if you go to the home page, you know, I was doing a search and I was going like, how many people spell their name Michele with one L? So I
No
looked up
one.
Michele. Now these are members that have Michele in their name.
That's interesting.
Look at all the Michelles with one L. Interesting. So therefore, I no longer feel like I'm the only person. When I say Michele with one L, I no longer feel that it's totally, I'm the only person on the planet that spells their
Oh,
name
look
with
at
one
there.
L.
WIB 66. I know that. I know that name.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So now, but I also, the other day, I noticed that there was somebody whose catalog name was James. Just first name James. And I was like, what? How can that be? And so you'll notice if you're looking up James, like you like the way James sounds, you want to find everything James recorded so you could maybe read some more, listen to more of his stuff. So I typed in James. Now it starts out with all of our books with James in the title. That's the way this is constructed. But if you go to the end, the readers are down at the end. Oh my God, James is a lot of Jameses. There you go. Now here on page 6, I believe, is where James begins. Okay, now here's all the Jameses, all the people with James in their names. But how many people just have James as their catalog name? There's 2 of them. There's James, whose username is also James, and there's James whose username is Jim Jam.
That's
So
interesting.
it's the username that tells the unique name of the person. But anybody can sign up Michele Fry if they want to, and there would be then 2 of us. But we would have to have the system won't allow people to have 2 different usernames. And I checked on that to make sure before I told y'all that. So we do have, everyone is unique, but that doesn't mean their catalog names can be the same. So like if you type in
I think
Laura,
I'd prefer that they be unique.
Yeah,
well, I would too. I'm just showing you what is.
Yeah.
Not what
You know,
we
like
what
James
you want doesn't
01,
matter.
James-
It's the way it's set up. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you just take like there's Laura. There's all kinds of books. Oh, there you go. There's Laura. Now, just point out to you that when you look up an author or
Here
a
are
name,
1, 2,
the
3, 4.
the members are down at the last. If they're on page 87, you've got to go through all that to get there. Now, look how many
Here are
Lauras there are.
4 Lauras.
There's 4 Lauras. And if you know, like if you're a BC and they have a new reader and you ask them their catalog name and they say it's Laura, well, it's Laura. You don't say, well, could you use your last name? It's just Laura, whatever they want. That's it. But the username is what makes them distinguished. I just wanted to point that out to you. It's one of those little tidbits I just recently discovered, which I like details. So
Well, it works. It works.
It works out. It works out. But however, let's suppose you're new to LibriVox and you want to look up your friend Laura. And so you go to the homepage and you type in Laura, like I just did, and you get up. First of all, you're never going to know to go to the very end to look for Laura. But if you did, you're not going to know which Laura it is because you don't know their username. So it's a bit of a problem, but it's doable. You only have to look for 4 different people. Interesting little tidbit.
Right.
I think.
Interesting.
I use the search bar an awful lot on the home page to look up just about everything. Do y'all use that a lot?
yes, every day
You too? Okay.
recently.
All right.
I don't, but I think I don't spend as much time. I don't have as much time to spend on LibriVox, so there's that.
What, you have another life?
Yes.
Oh, gosh,
No
really?
fair.
Seriously. So now if I'm going to go back over here to the forum, I do have a feature on my computer that I like because I use Edge.
Did everybody
Edge-
stop talking?
Edge allows you to set up favorites. You know, you can hit like the favorites star here. And when you put something in favorites, it adds it. The first 10 or 12 of them go across the top. And then you have a drop-down box for the rest. So when you add a favorite, it goes to the bottom of the list. And if you want it to be at the top, you bring it up. You can drag it up, you know. You can drag it up in whatever order you want it to be in. So that's a good way to keep track of the places you visit frequently. Not only on, but I have, you can see I have my LibriVox ones first, which should tell you something that I'm there more than I'm anyplace else. I do other things, but I do a lot on LibriVox. So here we are, we're on the forum. I was going to type in high pass filter and just see what kind of a discussion there is about high pass filters. See what we got here.
I'm gonna have to write that down. I'll never remember otherwise.
What are you writing down?
High pass filter to give that a try.
Well, 1 minute.
What-
Test
what-
required.
Rich suggested that, I think.
Yeah, and I saw a post by me go by.
You did?
You're in Stardust, Phil.
What?
What?
You can see all the ones for me on
Right in the
Autonomous
middle
Plumbing and beneath the banner.
Yeah.
Oh, Loon, you mean you want me to click on this?
Yeah, well, I just noticed it.
Well, I'm looking for a discussion on the high pass filter. I
Yeah.
don't see a discussion on high pass.
No.
Okay. Anyway, that's a good way to find things if you have to do a little searching. But if you're looking, another way you can find things for sure is to go to the wiki up here in the menu, wiki, and then over here in the little search bar, you can type in high pass filter.
You could just ask Mr. Google directly.
Sure, you could do that, but I'm talking about the LibriVox platform. Audacity tutorials, noise removal, high pass filter.
Pretty good
So
stuff.
if you
Then
want me to
click.
show if I can share a screen, I can not show the video, but I can show a screenshot I took of the portion that you have to highlight.
Okay, just 1 second. I'm almost finished. Audacity tutorials. There should be something here that says high pass filter.
There's just a very brief discussion down there at the bottom.
And you see, I can't see it because you're
All right,
silence
you're
removal because
right above
because
that. However, the
silence removal?
occasional popping P, which is actually the breadth of paragraph above that. It says
fixing individual
plosives.
plosives. See this article?
Nope. There's no link. It's just that paragraph right there.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Occasional popping, which is actually a breath on the mic at a very low, can be isolated and treated with the high pass filter. Make sure your selection begins and ends on the horizontal line by clicking the Z key. Oh, Mary is here. Let me admit her.
Poor Mary.
There we go. By clicking the Z key, then click Effect High Pass Filter using settings of roll off 12 dB and cutoff frequency. Click OK. The popping sound should be decreased. So, Kevin,
Hey,
you can
Mary.
go there later and find it.
now is that the, I don't know the term, but is that, will this 12 dB and the 100 Hz
Hertz.
setting be, what do they call that? The default setting?
Oh, I
It's
don't know. You'll have to go
not.
find out.
Oh, so I should write that down.
I actually use the default setting, to be completely honest.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Um,
so will
Did
I.
you
And I-
put this in the wiki? Is this your paragraph in the wiki?
That is not my paragraph. I went off of that and experimented and figured
Okay.
it out.
Well, I'll look at your link too.
There you go. But I'm just trying to show you how you can find things. Use the wiki a
Mhm.
lot. And the wiki will often do things like see this article. It would, these are all comments made by LibriVox members, who supposedly have some expertise in things. And they often direct you to like, see this article. Let's see what that says. See this article. Oh, this article is also in the wiki. Plosives, popping peas. This section covers. Oh, you know what? What if we just did a search just for the heck of it, since we're just showing how to get around plosives? Let's see what it takes you to. Audacity tutorials, fixing plosives, improve your recording, user recommended equipment. Example, 1 minute test responses, test. Ooh, proof listening tips, instructional videos. That's probably Phil's video on plosives. Anyway, there's a lot of help if you know how to get it. So using the wiki and using the search box is very, very useful, I find. I don't use it nearly often enough.
I'll just call you Michele.
Okay. Michele with
No,
one. Michele with
With one
L.
L, that's right. Did you say Mary is here? Which Mary is that? I haven't.
And so,
Mary in Arkansas.
Oh,
Mary,
I
Mary,
haven't- I haven't taught with you in ages.
I'm dubbing you
know.
our mascot, Mary.
I am.
You're the Zoom mascot now.
Oh,
I don't think you've ever missed a session. So I'm dubbing
yeah,
you.
no, I did one, I think around Christmas time, because I was going out to lunch with some friends. I missed that one.
Really?
It's
Mhm.
allowed.
I didn't
Yeah.
notice.
Well, thanks.
If
I
I
must
had
have
a
missed it.
pot of coffee, I'd fill up my glass and we'd
Have
chat.
coffee with friends.
Oh, there you go.
That's a good start.
So I've been trying to get Kevin to put a picture of himself up there, or not of himself, but of his cat.
I don't know how.
And he says he doesn't know how.
I tried. I really
He's
tried. but
He's lying like a dog.
maybe
So I
next
would
time.
like to implore anyone on this forum to give us a demo on how you add a photo to your Zoom profile. Would anybody like to try doing that?
Well,
I'm
maybe.
afraid if I
Maybe.
did, I'd lose the whole thing and get disconnected.
Well, that's exactly. Anyway, I've got to get moving. So let's not have the demonstration now.
And it is true, it is noon, and we've just been chatting away.
It's been a real pleasure.
Thanks for coming by, Kevin. We'll come, please come again. And
And
we can
I
do a
have to-
private tutorial if you like on how to put.
Well,
your-
I have to say, I want to show off Bertram, my cat. He's new. He's named after Bertie Wooster from the the Woodhouse recordings that we've seen and done.
Turn on your
So-
camera, Kevin.
I'm sorry?
Turn on your camera.
I don't have a camera. I don't have a camera.
Are you using a laptop?
No, I just, it's a, I don't know what you call it, just a desktop.
Yeah.
I have
okay.
my microphone that,
Hey, Kevin,
yes.
your cat is Birdie. I have a
Yes.
cat named, my cat is named Gussie Finknoddle.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So
Well,
that's another character from his books.
yeah, exactly. He's the fellow who likes the newts.
Right, yeah. And my
Who
cat
is,
kind of
who
looks
is
like him.
he? Who is he, y'all?
Oh my, that's
He's
funny.
one of Bertie Wooster's friends.
No, who is the author?
Oh,
Oh.
I've forgotten
PG
the
Woodhouse.
PG.
Oh,
I forgot
Pam,
what
okay.
his first names are, but Woodhouse. It's spelled Wodehouse, though. I mispronounced him when I first began, and then our English friends corrected me very politely. They corrected me, and they said, "You know how the English are. Everything is spelled differently than it sounds." So,
English? You mean French?
oh well, don't even begin with French. I even avoid sections that have too much French in it. You know, I just can't handle the French. So anyway, I've got to go. It's a pleasure
right.
talking with you all.
Thank you,
See you
Kevin.
again.
Likewise, Kevin.
See you
Come
again next
again.
month or earlier.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And so everybody, it is noon. And so I guess we're ready to go. I hate to go, but we'll go. And hopefully we'll be on first Monday next month. Meanwhile, check the forums. Hopefully you're subscribed to the forums and you'll get the notifications. And Mary,
Can we hear a word from
remind
Pam?
me.
Can we hear a word from Pam to make sure her mic is working?
Oh, it's working. Yeah. Can you hear me? Okay.
Now?
Yes, we
Yeah,
can hear
I'm
you.
taking it all in. I'm a newbie, so I'm taking it all in. I
Oh,
love
good.
it. So, but I'm more of a narrator. I'm not so technical, and I've had some real struggles with finding people, a human being that can come and help me even with my computer and figure out. Like I started in June. I had to learn everything all by myself. I have gotten pretty far, but long way to go. So I appreciate it.
Okay, that's my husband just
you hear
woke
me?
up because I could tell
Okay.
because the dogs were barking. So we'll see y'all next month, hopefully. All right.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.